Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Desham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the Raptors finally announced their roster for the upcoming season. I am going to tell you guys exactly why the Raptors made the right choices and how it came about. But just like I do in every other video, before I get into the main content, something else for today. So something else for today is that shout out to every person who learned to cut hair while in lockdown and became expert at it, because I became an expert at it. I've been saving money since. I might sound like a cheap ass, but shout out to everybody who's doing the same thing. You know, those $10, $12 helping daycare. So I've been cutting my 2-year-old's hair since the lockdowns, and I'm gotten damn good at it. Anyways, without a further ado, let's talk Raptors final roster. So the Raptors on midnight Saturday almost. I kept checking Bleacher Report. I kept checking everywhere else to see who we were dropping, and the Raptors drop a bomb on Saturday almost, and you have to check it in Sunday morning. And the Raptors decided to go with Sam Dekker, and I will get into exactly why that's a good thing and how it came about. So the Raptors, going into summer league training camp preseason, had about 8 to 9 guys that they were targeting in order to determine if they were going to be a good fit for our roster, right? It included Delano Banton, second round pick. They needed to decide if he can play in the NBA or go to the G League. David Johnson, Justice Champagnie, Reggie Perry, Freddie Gillespie, Ishmael Wainwright, Sam Dekker, Isaac Bonga. So those were like the main guys that the Raptors were concentrating on, that the Raptors wanted to see if where they would fit, or if they can make, Yuta Watanabe, and see if they can make the roster, right? So when the summer league started, you expect your rookies to do a little bit of everything, right? You want to see where they would go. And Delano Banton took that step. Even though he had turnover issues, he still did a little bit of defense. He assisted the ball. He got to the bucket. He played good defense. And, once you play good defense, Nick Nurse is going to love you. So, Delano Banton was going to make that spot. So he got the 12th spot. David Johnson, even though he didn't have a good summer league, I guess he did impress during the, you could say, the practices that we don't get to see. So, and he's your second round contract. So there's no point. I mean, he's on a rookie contract. So there's no point in you cutting him just now until you see what he's capable of, even if you do have to send him to G League, right? The Raptors get two-way contracts, so that he could be one of them, right? So he basically was on the 13th spot there. And then once the preseason went on, Justin Champagnie took a step, right? He became one of those guys that got constant minute, right? He played defense like he's tall as hell, and he was up and down the ground, like up and down the floor, and he did good defensive. His stance looked good. He didn't miss his assignments. And offensively, he was rebounding the ball. He was getting to the bucket. He was cutting like crazy. So he got at least, I think he scored 18 points per game during the preseason almost. And that showed Nick Nurse enough that this kid has potential to be a bench piece or a good role player going forward. So he was going to take the 14th spot straight up. And basically, that next spot went to Yuta Watanabe. Now, the Yuta Watanabe he played with us last year. He got, garbage time, as he did good job. High energy guy, up and down, played good defense. His offensive game wasn't up to the mark, but he played for Japan in the Olympics this year. And eventually, his game did start to improve. He's been nailing his, corner threes from the arc. Still high energy, playing defense. He had this sick block on, I think it was Drummond in one of the games. He has been a little bit injury prone on his ankles, but again, he seemed like a guy that would make the rosters, and he offers an extra incentive to the Raptors for his being on the roster, because what he allows the Raptors to do is market and gain extra revenue by targeting the market in Japan. It's just like the situation with Yao Ming, where Yao Ming played for the Houston Rockets, and China loved him because he was from there, and it just grew the Houston Rockets revenue. And so it's the same thing with Yuta Watanabe. Japan loves him, and him being on the Raptors roster gives the Raptors an opportunity to be able to target the Japan and gain extra revenue for themselves. So that was just an extra incentive. Not to say that Yuta Watanabe doesn't deserve it. He damn deserves that spot. Because he's played very, very well for a guy that was cut by everybody and didn't have any chances, and he's shown improvement. So he took that spot, and that basically left Freddie Gillespie, Reggie Perry, Ishmael Wainwright, Sam Decker, Isaac Bonga to fight for the last two spots. So eventually what happened was the Raptors decided to waive Freddie Gillespie, and we all loved Freddie Gillespie last year, but he had a abysmal summer league. He was not really good in the preseason because he was still missing defensive assignments. He wasn't going to the bucket and finishing like he should be as a potential center. He was slow on the move. People were getting by him on defense, and it seemed like he got more interested in the hoo-ha or the allure of what comes with the being in the NBA than to concentrate on his game. Now I can't say exactly that, but that's just the way that is my opinion. So it was likely the amount of limited minutes he was getting and not really getting into the game, and when he did, it was just basic garbage time even in preseason, and you expected that Freddie Gillespie was going to be cut. Reggie Perry never even got any play time, right? So you expected he was going to get cut. Then it basically came down to Sam Decker, Isaac Bonga, and Ishmael Wainwright. And in my opinion, I liked Ishmael Wainwright. He was a defensive guy, a big guy like OG Anunoby, can move, and he did nail his 3-point shots, but it was indicative of the fact that he still wasn't getting enough play time, that it was likely that he was going to be cut because Isaac Bonga is 21 years of age. So he was likely to make that squad. Why? First, 21 years of age. He's played, I think, 125 NBA games. So he does have some NBA experience. He's shown development. He can move without the ball. He's tall, agile, kind of like, a Chris Boucher type. And you want to take the chance on a guy who's only 21 that can develop into something rather than a guy that has already reached a 25, 26 age where he's kind of stuck in his ways now, right? So that's probably why Isaac Bonga was chosen over Ishmael Wainwright. So Isaac Bonga made it. And then basically it was between Sam Decker and Ishmael Wainwright. Ding, ding, ding. I'm just kidding. And it seemed like Sam Decker was not going to make it because he wasn't getting much play time. Whenever he did get playing time, he was just getting 1 or 2 shots up, and there wasn't much going on. And same thing with Ishmael Wainwright. But because Ishmael Wainwright fit the body style, the length, the aggressiveness, the defensive mindedness, it seemed like Ishmael would make it. But no, Sam Decker made the squad. And he made it because he killed Washington on the last preseason game. He went 7 of, I think it was 9 overall, 18 points, just 3-point shot after 3-point shot after 3-point shot, and just took the game over, him and Malachi, and won us the game. And that told you, that's why the Raptors would select him, because he provides us the offense that we might need every now and then that Ishmael can't provide. And I liked Ishmael, there's no doubt about it, but we need offense, and Sam Decker fitted that. So Sam Decker was selected, and unfortunately Ishmael was waived. And there's a lot of teams that probably pick him up because teams have offense, some teams need defense, like Golden State. You could say Portland definitely needs defense. So those teams will likely pick him up because people tend to pick up anybody the Raptors took a look at. So that's pretty much the squad that came in, right? So we have all of our, the guys that we had previously, and now we got Sam Decker, Isaac Bonga, Justin Champagne, Yuta Watanabe again, Delano Banton, David Johnson as part of our squad. And I'm saying what I feel about this roster is it is very well balanced. A lot of people are upset that we didn't take Ishmael Wainwright, or we might not be as have as much depth, but I think we have a lot of depth. And just keep in mind, guys, these are the guys that are on the deep end of the bench. You think Malachi is going to sit out while Sam Decker plays, or somebody, Gary Trent Jr. is going to sit out so Isaac Bonga play? No, these are guys that come in if we're injured. So what they provide is, there's guys that are defensive oriented, there's guys that are assist oriented, and then there's guys that are offense oriented. but they all still have good qualities on all the remaining aspects, right? Like defense, Sam Dekker does play defense. Isaac Bonga does have some ability to get to the rim. Delano Banton has the ability to play defense. So these guys do provide us with that balance if we do need it, for them to come in and play limited minutes when, our stars might be injured or might not be able to play because of COVID protocols or whatever the crap might be. And I think the Raptors have done a very, very good job in balancing their squad out in case of a shitty situation like injuries like we had last year, where we have people that can come in and contribute on a place where we need them. So, for example, if, OG gets hurt, we lose out on a defense-oriented guy. So you can put in Isaac Bonga, same length, less body weight, but same length, or Yuta Watanabe, right? We lose out on a three-point shooter like Gary Trent gets hurt, or Sivai Maheluk off the bench gets hurt. You can plug that Sam Dekker in there. You lose Malaka, you can bring Delano Banton into it, right? So it seems like the Raptors have selected a very, very balanced squad, and the Raptors are going to do well because the teams are sleeping on their ability to play two ways, both defense and offense. People just look at offense. We might not have a out of this world offense, but our defense is out of this world, and it will contribute to transition buckets going forward. And we have guys that have the ability to go off on any other day as well, not like Damian Lillard or Steph Curry or whatever, but we do have guys, right? Like, Freddie, 54 points, OG, Gary Trent with 40-point games and everything like that. So guys, rest assured the Raptors are in good hand. And my prediction for Wednesday night season opener for the Raptors against the Washington Wizards is going to be an ass whooping. OG is going to prove himself. He's going to make his mark. Gary Trent is going to make his mark. Freddie's going to try to hook up a couple of shots and then go back to assisting the ball and being the leader. And the Raptors are going to win 115-104. That is my prediction. Hopefully it works out. So guys, let me know what you guys think about the roster for the Raptor going forward, if you guys are confident about it or not. I love talking ball, and please hit that like and subscribe button to the channel to help it grow. And I will see you guys after the game on Wednesday for a review of our season opener. Can't wait. Anyway, guys, see you next time. Keep talking Raptors.